What would you do if someone said this to you? Once there was a girl in Korea who got in an elevator in the apartment building that she was living in when a stranger came in and told her something that was absolutely terrifying. This stranger came into the elevator with her and tried to make some small talk. He looked at the elevator buttons and said, "Oh, I see that you live on the 14th floor. I live on the 13th floor." She gave him a friendly response and even tried to flirt a little bit. She thought that he was attractive and wondered if they would get to know each other better. But things quickly took a horrifying turn. When the elevator arrived at the 13th floor, the man got off and said, "See you soon." But as the doors closed, he pulled out a knife from.
So when I was a sophomore in high school, I had this teacher who would only let the students in her class use the restroom one time per semester. Well, one day I raised my hand and I was like, "Excuse me," I don't remember her name, "can I please use the restroom?" And she was like, "No, you can't, because you've already used the restroom in my class this semester." Well, excuse me, you can't dictate my bladder. So I'm like all frustrated, and I started secretly texting my mom because I wasn't allowed to use my phone in class. And I was like, "Mom, I'm sitting in class right now. My teacher won't let me use the restroom." And she was like, "I'll take care of it for you." And I was like, "Okay." So like 5 minutes goes by, and all of a sudden my teacher's phone starts ringing. And she walks up to it and answers it, and she's like, "Hello?" "Yeah. Okay, thank you." And then she walks up to me like so angry, and she like slams the pass on my desk, and she was like, "Since you have to go that bad." And I was like, "Yeah, I really do, thanks." And I got up and left. I didn't even have to go to the bathroom. It was just the principle of it. I just roamed the halls.
Storytime of how I found out that my 13-year-old sister was sleeping with my teacher and nobody ever did anything about it. So this is the first time that I'm actually telling anybody, because I'm finally old enough to realize that all of this was just wrong. So at the time, my sister was in 8th grade and I was in 6th grade. So my sister claimed that she needed extra help in history, and I guess my mom trusted him, because after school he would take me and my sister to his house and then help my sister. And he would always say he had to get ready before he tutored her, because they would go in the room with the door shut. But he said that was the only way for her to learn best. And while we were waiting for him to get ready, me and my sister would play this literal funnest and most satisfying game ever. It's where you grow little plant dudes, and me and her literally got so addicted to it. The link to that is also going to be in my bio. And then he would start playing the game with her, trying to get on her good side. And then they make me wait in the living room for about an hour while they study. And every day she would come out saying, "Oh my god, I learned so much today." I mean, she did learn something. Anyways, I'm running out of time for part 2. Part 2 of how I caught my 13-year-old sister sleeping with her teacher. So continuing on with the story, I was just waiting outside the room until they got done. And one day my mom called me and said that it was an emergency and she had to pick us up early. So I knocked on the door really lightly, and then I opened the door, and I'm surprised it wasn't locked. And I opened the door and I see my 13-year-old sister and her 42-year-old teacher just getting it on. I mean, I ain't no snitch, so I didn't say nothing. At the time, I was 11 years old in 6th grade, and I high-fived her. Then the teacher bribed me with $500 to not say anything. Again, I was in 6th grade at the time, so my parents would definitely wonder where I got the money from. So the teacher told me that if I let them keep doing their thing, he'll make this fake raffle and say that I won it. Because me and my sister were so close, I never snitched on her. And this is the first time I'm telling the story. Me and my sister don't talk anymore. So if you're that teacher that gave me $500 to keep effing my older sister, you are probably one of the most disgusting people that I've ever met. And if this story gets out there, sorry for saying this, but I need to get this out there, John Wilson, you deserve to rot in jail.
This is the story of the spoiled student. The spoiled student used to be my friend. We trusted each other. I trusted her and she trusted me. We can just call her Anna for now. Anyway, Anna was always about followers. She was at 10,000 followers at that time, and I was at 400,000. She got so cocky that her true colors were showing. Then the next week came by and she had over 100,000 followers. She became cocky that one day she even came up to me in class and said she was gonna beat me to 500,000. I didn't want it to be a competition, so I just let it go. Then the next week she hit 300,000. And then she even started making fun of me for playing with fidgets and slime. The principal was overwhelmed with my 400 followers that she even gave me a gift. And that morning, Anna passed by and she overheard our conversation. She even saw the gift. Her face looked mad and she just stared. Then I finally opened the gift and it was a pack of fidgets. Anna was so mad that she tried to trip me and I knew it was her. I looked back at her and she instantly did something on her phone. This is part 2 of the spoiled student. So before she started doing something on her phone, she asked me if I had a YouTube channel. I was confused at that time. I told her my YouTube channel was Ozzy Fidgets, and I asked her why did she need it, and she just had a smirk on her face. Then after school, I saw her making a YouTube channel. Then the next day, she had 50,000 subscribers. I was so happy for her, and later that day, she came up to me and said, "You will never get this many subscribers." I was shocked because I was literally happy for her. Then she went over to the principal's office and showed the principal her subscribers. I'm pretty sure she expected a gift, but the principal just congratulated her. She was so mad that she caused a big argument between her and the principal. The principal said it wasn't their job to give gifts. Then, a week later, Anna got her account hacked. So this is a story on how I found an alive chicken inside of my McDonald's burger. So it was me and my friend, let's just say her name is Elena. So me and Elena had told each other we were never going to eat McDonald's ever. We would always see videos of people saying McDonald's had fake food. But until one day we decided to give McDonald's another shot. So when we pulled up to McDonald's, the McDonald's worker from the drive-thru was acting suspicious. We knew something was up, but we didn't think much of it. So I ordered a chicken sandwich just because I didn't want to get anything too big. My friend, on the other hand, got a Big Mac. When we told the guy said that they had no chicken. So then I was like, okay, I'll just get a cheeseburger. But then once we pulled up to the window, the guy was like, oh wait, I found chicken. I was kind of happy because I didn't really feel like eating a cheeseburger. So once we received the food, my friend drove over to a parking lot so we can eat. We're starving, and while we drove there to the parking lot, the bag kept moving. My friend didn't think much of it, so she just blamed it on my foot. My friend was almost halfway done with her burger, and I bit into mine, and you won't believe what was in it.
My mom tried to drown this little girl. Story time. When I was about 4 or 5 years old, my family got a pool, so they signed me up for swimming lessons. And I loved everything about the class except for this one girl who we're gonna name Pamela. She was the worst. And every time we had a class, when nobody was looking, she would hold my head underwater for an extremely long time. Now, normally, my dad would take me to my swimming lessons, but this time, my mom ended up taking me. And my mom does not play when it comes to her kids. So during class, Pamela thought nobody was looking, so she started holding me underwater again. However, my mom saw. My mom ends up running over, grabbing me out of the water, and then she grabs Pamela by the head, dunks her under the water, and holds her there for a really long time. Thank God the instructor was there because...
Storytime are the most dirtiest college roommate ever. By the way, we're calling her Jessie. So I moved in before Jessie and I get settled and decorate. The next day, she comes and throws her bag on the bed, then leaves. I thought it was weird because she didn't even say anything to me. Couple hours later, she comes back and I'm like, hello? And she's like, my bad, and comes give me a hug. She smelled very bad. She starts unpacking all of her clothes and blankets, but they smelled like mildew. Anyways, a week later, there's this party going on for freshmen, and she goes, but I stay in because I had a migraine. I told her that when she comes back, can she keep the light off? Now it's 2 a.m., and she comes back in very loud, uses the bathroom, then goes to sleep. And now I'm up, so I got up to use the bathroom too. When I sit down on the toilet, I feel something very squishy. It was dark because, like I said, I had a migraine. I get up, turn the light on, and I was sitting in her shit. Part 2 will be up soon.
This is why you should think twice before getting put to sleep at the dentist. I always had bad teeth growing up. When I was younger, I would stay up late eating candy and drinking soda without a care in the world. A few years later, my teeth needed some serious work. My mom didn't make a lot of money and also didn't care too much, so I never got them fixed as a kid. When I was 18, I got a job and made it a priority to fix my teeth with the money I earned. I did some research online for an affordable dentist and found one that would take my job subpar insurance. When I arrived for my first visit, I immediately noticed the office was worn down and old. From the moment I got there, something didn't feel right, but I chalked it up to being nervous because I was scared to see what the dentist had to say. I also couldn't help thinking about the potential pain of getting my teeth fixed. After the dentist made his initial assessment, I noticed he kept putting his hand on my shoulder as he was talking to me, which made me a little uncomfortable. He said I needed serious work done and advised me to be put to sleep to make it pain-free and easy, to which I agreed. I came in about a week later and was put to sleep while he worked on my teeth. I was pretty groggy when I woke up, but I noticed pretty quickly that something was wrong. I was terrified to realize that my bra was lifted up on one side of my chest. My experience only got worse from here. Part 2, why you should think twice before getting put to sleep at the dentist. A million things were going through my head when I woke up. I thought that maybe when I was groggy, I was moving around and my bra rode up on one side. I didn't want to believe that anything bad happened when I was put to sleep. I thought I was overthinking it and told myself that it sounded crazy, but it was lingering in the back of my mind. When I went back for my next appointment, I told my dentist that I wanted to stay awake. However, he kept arguing with me and trying to convince me to be put under again. I flat out told him that I was uncomfortable with being put to sleep for a second time and refused. He was annoyed and upset, which was a big red flag for me. I ended up just leaving and getting my work done somewhere else. I also filed a report of exactly what happened and what I experienced with this weirdo. A few months later, I received a call stating that the dentist I filed a complaint against was arrested. More information about my complaint was needed to build a case against him. It turns out this dentist and a few other staff in his office were abusing female patients that they put to sleep before working on them. Multiple patients filed complaints about this guy, which sparked the investigation. After this, his practice was shut down and his dental license was taken away. He ended up getting a much-deserved hefty prison sentence.